Dear students, we have come to the last class on the poem Dolphins. During the first period, we discussed about the author and the poem, and later we have seen the poem in detail, and today we shall have a look at the theme and style of the poem. One of the main themes of this poem, first one is of course enslavement or lack of freedom. Enslavement or lack of freedom. Enslavement means kept under captivity. You trap somebody and keep that person or animal under captivity, enslavement. World is what you swim in or dream or dance. World is what you swim in or dance. That's how it begins. And then there is a contrast, next line. We are in our element, but we are not free. We are in our element, that is water, but we are not free. All these are connected with the theme enslavement. Swimming and dancing. Swimming or dancing to do with life. Swimming and dancing are to do with life, enjoyments in life. So that is how they enjoy, but here that they have no freedom to do that. So free early life versus the present hard reality. There is a comparison between the earlier free life they had and now the hard reality they are facing. There is a comparison. Some of the phrases connected with the enslavement are: we were blessed, now we are not blessed. We live in the same space. We used to live in a vast and extensive space. Now we live in the same space. There is a man and there are hoops. There is a man and there are hoops. Hoop is the tool used to oppress or to enslave somebody. The moon is missing. The moon has disappeared. The moon has disappeared. Well-worn grooves. Well-worn grooves. Got a tone or a music to which the Dolphins had been so much accustomed, and it went on for quite a long time. All these speak of enslavement. So this is a main theme. Enslavement or lack of freedom is the main theme. We'll go to next theme. Human greed and cruelty. Human greed and cruelty. Greed is a desire to have more and more at the expense of others. I want to have so much at the expense of the other. I want to enjoy life. I want to have all the comforts. I want to get entertained with the help of dolphins at the expense of dolphins and their freedom. So, human greed and cruelty, not being kind enough, not able to sympathize with others and their needs. So that is the theme of human greed and cruelty. So when Carol and Duffy speaks about this theme, the human greed, she is not speaking just about dolphins alone. The dolphins represent the entire animal world. Animals all over the world are being represented. So this poem is also a sympathy of the others for the animals. Others' sympathy for the animals. So what are the phrases connected with human greed and cruelty? Confinement, restricted life, narrowness of pool, shallow waters which are not deep, hoops, there is a man and there are hoops, colored ball, they have to balance the colored ball, whistle, when the whistle is blown till it ends, they have to keep on encircling. Stony heart, because of the sorrow of the dolphins, they are singing the songs of loss, and as a result, their hearts turning stony. All these are connected with human greed and cruelty, not being kind to them, not able to sympathize with them and their feelings. So these are the two main themes. Some of the phrases or words which could be connected or which could be asked, they are all synonyms like. They could ask questions. When they ask questions, these words could be used. Some of the words are oppression of the dolphins, control of dolphins by human beings, confinement of dolphins, exploitment of dolphins and animals, enslavement of dolphins, abuse of dolphins or animals, torture of animals, restricted life of animals, limiting of animal rights. All these terms could be used while asking questions. You must be familiar with these phrases. So to conclude the theme, animals have a right to live. That is the thing. That's what the author Carroll and Duffy wants to convey to the reader. Animals have a right to live. Just like we have a right to live, animals also have a right to live. Animals cannot be made use of. That's why I put a cross mark here. They cannot be made use of for food, clothing, entertainment and scientific experiments. Animals have their own right. They cannot be abused. They cannot be misused for food, clothing, entertainment and scientific experiments. That's what the author wants to convey. Another thing is, animals like us means like humans, are part of nature. Nothing can substitute it. So animals like human beings are part of nature. They have an original habitat. For dolphins, it is the sea. For a tiger, it may be the forest. So like that, all the animals have their own habitat. You cannot take them away from there and create a natural habitat and give them. Nothing can substitute it. You may say that we have made a nice pool for the dolphins. The dolphins can freely swim in. We are giving them all specials. No. None of these things will substitute their natural habitat. They feel at home and enjoy maximum in the place where they are born and brought up. So we should never try to deprive them of their natural habitat and should not take them away from their nature. That's the conclusion of the theme. Now we shall go to the style of the poem. As I said in the beginning itself, so the poem is something very different. So it has a different way of treating as regards the rhyme pattern, the structure of the poem, etc. We have seen from the first day I explained to you the meaning of contemporary poetry. Contemporary poetry, they don't strictly hold on to the standard meter and rhyme patterns, but they have so many other things like imageries, figure of speech, etc. used. So this is a poem wherein we have something very different from what we have learned so far. Inconsistent structure. Structure is inconsistent. There is no consistency. It keeps varying, keeps changing. 4 stanzas of 6 lines. 4 stanzas of 6 lines. That is the structure used. And there are 4 stanzas. Altogether only 4 stanzas. Each stanza has about 6 lines each. It's a contemporary poetry. I already explained on the first day what is contemporary poetry. Then they are using repetition and use of imageries. Repetition is a repeating of certain words and phrases in order to give emphasis to something. And there is a use of imageries. While teaching you the poem, I explained to you some of the imageries. Then you go to the next point, dramatic monologue. This poem is a dramatic monologue. I explained to you also what is a dramatic monologue. A dramatic monologue. What is a dramatic monologue? A single person speaks other than the author. A single person other than the author speaks. It is not the author who speaks, but someone else speaks. And in the way while he is speaking, giving a speech or narrating, involuntarily his character is revealed. Involuntarily his character is revealed. So in other words, you can say the objectivity of drama is achieved. In dramatic monologue, the objectivity of drama is achieved. Whatever you achieve through a drama is achieved through the poem. That is dramatic monologue. So like a drama, there is an action, there is conflict, but no resolution. There is no resolution, but there is conflict and action. This is unlike in drama. Unlike in drama, it is the outside action and outside conflict. Very obviously seen. Whereas in the dramatic monologue, it is internal action and internal conflict. So in the monologue, through the monologue, the speaker is speaking out the conflicts that the dolphins are undergoing, and also the action also is revealed. So that is regarding dramatic monologue. So here very wonderfully the dolphin is able to express its feeling. How lonely they are feeling. How depressed they are. How they were feeling once upon a time when they were in their original habitat, that is sea. How happy they were there. Now though they are living in their elements, water, still they are not happy. Once upon a time they were blessed, now they are not blessed. After moving in this space for some time, they came to understand that their space where they live is very limited one. There is a man and there are hoops to control us. There is a whistle blowing and well-worn grooves we are swimming. We are going to sing to the depth of the pool and die here. We have no hope. So, very beautifully through the dramatic monologue, the dolphin is able to express themselves, their conflict. Now we will go to internal action and conflict. First person and second person is revealed in first person and second person. In the sense, the whole thing is explained as first person. We, the dolphins. We means dolphin as a group. Whereas there is a first person. Second person starts in second person. So poem begins like this. World is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. World is what you swim in. So begins with the second person, but the entire thing is explained as in the first person, I, we. Third thing we will go to enjambment. Enjambment is something new for you. Meaning of enjambment is striding over. Striding over. That is a continuation of a sentence to the next without a pause. Continuation of a sentence to the next without a pause, without stopping or without giving any comma or semicolon, things like that. They are proceeding to the next line. There is a man, end of the line, next line starting, and there are hoops. After traveling such space for days we began, the sentence ends there, next begins to translate. So, continuation of a sentence to the next without a pause, that is enjambment. Then what are some of the figures of speech used in the poem are alliteration, you know, that is the repetition of consonant sounds in the beginning of the word. Simile, comparing one thing to another, you know it. Metaphor, metaphor is speaking without one thing is the other thing. Simile is comparing, this is like that. In metaphor, there is no difference between the thing compared and the thing compared to. Both are same. Then repetition, we already said repetition is the figure of speech wherein words and phrases are used often, repeated, continuously to give more effect. Like in this poem, the words like place, blessed. All these are some of the words continuously used. Man, there was a man, and hoops. It's like there are so many words are used continuously. That is a repetition. Then in the middle I have placed something that's very important. That's the last thing I want to explain to you. Often questions are asked in this manner or based on this. Dolphins as a play of contrast. Dolphins as a critique of speciesism. This is very important. Sometimes you may not understand it. If you do not understand it properly, then you will make a mistake. You have short answers to write, I told you. Rather long answers. The questions could be like this. Enumerate the poem Dolphins as a play of contrast. What is contrast? Comparing two things. Comparing two things. Here, there is a comparing of the previous life of dolphins and the present life of dolphins. How enjoyment was there in the earlier life. How they enjoyed the freedom. Now they do not have freedom. How they were blessed. Now they are not blessed. Earlier they were living in their original habitat. Now there is no truth. there is no originality. So these are comparisons. Comparison of two things. Here it is the previous life and present life of the dolphins. So from the beginning till the end is a continuous comparison of two states of dolphins. The previous free life and the present restricted or confined life. All the words and phrases we have seen earlier, you can make use of them. Confinement, restricted life, hoops, all those things. So that is the play of contrast. Another question could be asked is, explain your poem Dolphin as a critique of speciesism. A critique of speciesism. What is the meaning of criticism? Criticism, critique. C-R-I-T-I-Q-U-E. Critique. Critique means a thorough analysis, a detailed analysis. That's the meaning of critique. So explain Dolphin as a critique of, a detailed analysis of speciesism. Species, you know. Species, human species, animal species. So you know what is a species. But this is here the speciesism is something entirely different. What is speciesism? Speciesism is the notion or popular belief that human beings are superior to animals. It's nothing to do with the species. It is something very different. Speciesism is the understanding or belief that human beings are superior to animals. Therefore, animals could be exploited. They could be destroyed in order to make the life of human beings comfortable. So explain the poem Dolphin as a critique of speciesism, as a analysis of this belief. There, the theme we have already seen, human greed and cruelty. It is human greed and cruelty makes them to do that. Such a notion is not correct. Animals have a right to live just like human beings. They cannot be abused or misused. Animals have a right to have their own nature and habitat like human beings. Nobody can take it away already. So you can explain in this manner. You have a few assignments, few short answers given at the end of the workbook. Please do it. Thank you.